Welcome, welcome to the live. Welcome, come on in. They don't want y'all to know what is happening here on the content. On the continent. I'm streaming live from Cape Town, and I wanted to show you all the beautiful lion's head, but it's dark now. Welcome, come on in. Greet me if you want to be greeted. Let me know where you're joining from. We're talking about what they don't want you to know. As you know, maybe some of you know, if you're new to the channel and this is your first time joining, welcome. I'm Ashley. On my channel, Ashley in Africa, I talk about my experience of living, moving, and doing business on the continent. And someone shared this with you because they believe you would find value in it. But also, if you see this, then you're obviously meant to see this message. And I want to share with you what's happening here on the continent of Africa because they don't want you to know what's happening here. They want to keep you in the dark. They want to keep you asleep at the wheel. And I'm here to tell you about what's happening so that you are prepared, so that you can't say, nobody told me this, nobody taught me this. I'm here to share these things with you. So welcome. If you want to be greeted, let me know. Let me know where you're joining from. I need to pull open Instagram so that I can see my Instagram peeps. Let's see, is it saying I'm live on Instagram? It's not even saying I'm live on Instagram. What's happening here? It says I'm live, but I don't see it, guys. I don't see. So in the US, where in the US? Let me know where from in the US. I want to know. Let me know what's up. I'll do some shout outs in a minute. I'm trying to get the Instagram family on board. But I don't see, this always happens. This always happens when we're going live, but I want y'all to know what is happening. There are bad things happening, all over the world, but there are good things happening too. And I want you to be prepared for what those things look like. All right. So come on in. So we titled this live a few things, right? What they don't want you to know, but also for people that have an interest, right? They're like, hey, I only got 20,000. I only got 50,000. I only got 100,000. And I want to tell you the things that I am going to recommend that you do if you want to invest in Africa and don't know where to get started. So this is not financial advice. This is just my experience and me sharing my experience with you. So I repeat, this is not financial advice, right? But this is exactly what I would do if I was starting over, and some of the things that I would recommend that you do to be able to give yourself, the heads up, give yourself the advantage that, essentially we all deserve, right? We all deserve an advantage. So long we've been left out of consideration. But the reality is it's up to us, right? So we can point the finger, we can say it's them, they did this to us, they didn't make it easy. Well, we have an opportunity. We are living in the best day and age in history where we can learn information from our phones. We can get information and about ideas, about opportunities from our phone and do something with it. We've all heard negative things about Africa, which is precisely why where this is titled about don't miss this opportunity, the things they don't want you to know. But now there are so many people sharing their experience of doing business on the continent, and we can learn that, right? So come on in. All right. Looks like my live isn't showing up on LinkedIn. They let me know. LinkedIn don't want me to win. I'm also scrolling below information on the Investors Summit. So Africa Investors Academy Summit and Mastermind is happening this October, next month, 20th through the 27th. I think we've got 3 spots left. For those that have booked, congratulations, you secured your spot. For those that haven't, we've only got 3 spots left, guys. So you're going to want to get your spot booked. Final payments are all due 30th of September. We're going to have an incredible time. My co-host, Justa Ludwigana, will be joining us in a few to talk about what that looks like. But we're going to kick it off. Before she joins us, I just want to get a couple of things set up. It just looks like, I don't know, looks like Instagram and LinkedIn don't want to show me love. That's why I love YouTube, okay? YouTube is my friend. Doing a few things. Let me know where you're joining from. I want to do some shout outs. What are some of the questions you have? If you have questions going in, please be sure to leave a letter Q or the word question before your question so that I could easily pick it up and read your question when it's time. Let me see. I type so hard, y'all. Why do I type so hard? Okay, what is this one? November. Nope. That's not it. All right. We're working through. Well, Sean, you're on the right channel. You want to move to Africa? Any suggestions? Well, we're going to get started. All right. Welcome. All right. This is some opinions. Welcome. Be Media Group. Yes, from North Carolina. Monty Simmons. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome, Butterfly Effect. Hello. Welcome, Butterfly Effect. Welcome, Life with the Kings, joining from Ghana. Aquaba. Monty from Ohio. Alan from Albuquerque. Butterfly Effect from Washington State. Welcome. Hi, Mel from the ATL. Habari. Habari Dada Poa Safi from Maryland. Wonderful Latifa. What's up, Latifa from Cali? Dudu, welcome. Siabonga, that's thank you. Sawubona. My Sunday has been good. Yes, my Sunday has been good. Welcome, Supermodel Society TV from Houston. Yes, Dudu from Joburg. Hello. I'm so happy that you all have joined the live. Make sure you like this stream, right? So we've got 51 people in the chat. Go ahead and like this stream so that other people find out about it, right? The future of investing is in Africa, and I want people to not miss out on this opportunity. The best time to be in and on the continent. Tunde, welcome. So happy to have you on this live. Fantastic. Jason from downtown ATL. What's up, Eradi? The opportunities. Are you saying AI opportunities or all opportunities, Susie? Let me know what's up. Oh, B Media Group. It's Lakita. Yes. Perfect. Thank you so much. Anyone who's seeking to move or do business, I'm the plug. What's up? Thank you so much, Lakita. I was thinking, I'm like, North Carolina, I know. What's up, Tunde from the UK? Fantastic. And then we're going to have Justa joining us. All right. So the future of investing is in Africa, period. I said it. I said what I said. And that's where we are, right? So don't miss this opportunity. If you haven't seen my video with Justin Burns of Maestro and CreatorCon Africa, after this live, go check that out. He dropped so many gems, guys. Justin has been building businesses and helping other people build businesses for over 13 years to have location freedom. And at the time, I don't think he knew what he was doing, but now he's building that in Africa, all over the continent, starting with here in South Africa, because the eyes are on Africa. Just this last week, I have seen American politicians, 2, speaking at events here in South Africa. One in South Africa, and then another in Tanzania that's left politics and is like literally has 300 acres growing avocado in Tanzania. right? So, and this is just, I resonated with them because they were American, right? But people of non-melanated skin have been here investing and doing business. And we cannot be concerned about them. You know, people like to give these rebuttals, right? Oh, these people are taken over and these people own everything and these people. When have we ever been worried about other people when it came to our success or our journey? We have a history of, as African Americans, of enduring and persevering and earning and growing, and despite what has happened to us historically. So why would we look outside of ourselves and be concerned with anybody in relation to our success? Do not miss this opportunity. They don't want you to know. They want you to get caught up in what they're pushing out on the media. They want you to get caught up with what they're pushing out on your phones, right? Telling you about this epidemic of smallpox or monkeypox or whatever, right? Meanwhile, there are cranes in the sky. Development is happening. Industry is moving here. Governments are collaborating and connecting for growth, right? So I spent, I didn't realize Tunde was still on the Tunde was still on the screen, right? So we need to get moving, and they don't want you to know, right? They do not want you to know this. So if you're finding value in this conversation, please support the stream. All the information is below. You know, ideally Zelle or PayPal is better, or leave me a super chat, right? Cash App doesn't work here in South Africa. They don't want to see us win on Cash App, but support this stream, right? Because I'm giving you guys tons of value and I want to see you win, right? I want to see you win. I want you to come to Zanzibar for the Investors Mastermind. I want you to join us for the Travel, Move, Do Business virtual conference for South Africa. I want you to get access to these opportunities because we're living in the best time ever, right? How many of us remember 10 years ago? Put a 1 in the chat. How many of us remember what we were doing 10 years ago? Put a 1 in the chat, right? What shows we loved, right? I'm going back. What we were doing, where we were hanging out, what our hairstyle was like, what car we were driving, what friends we were friends with, but we're no longer friends with. Put a 1 in the chat. How many of us remember 10 years ago like it was yesterday? Things have changed. Supermodel Society says number 1. Soul Sister says number 1. Jason says number 1. You guys remember 10 years ago like it was yesterday, because it was. But now things are moving even faster. In 10 years, things are going to be completely different. And we can no longer say, well, this is going to take forever to happen. I don't see this happening anytime soon. Well, what is soon? Because time is passing us by. None of us have as much time as we think we have, right? So we need to take action because things are moving rapidly. And 10 years from now, what is happening in Africa is going to look completely different. Guys, so I went to, Abdul says I look like Sade. I'll receive it. I'll receive it. It's cold. I'm in Cape Town. I tried to escape winter, y'all, but it didn't work out for me because it's still cold in South Africa, but I love it. I love it. And I'm back. So 6 years ago, I was just in Tanzania for 2 months. And prior to that, it had been a year. The development in Tanzania is incredible, from logistics, you know, the making way for new transportation. I forgot the word, when you're not excavating, but when you're digging a port, right? They're digging a new port. Tanzania is one of the most strategically located countries on the continent because of the amount of countries that border it, the amount of lakes that border it, the tourism, the landscape, and they've created another port for commerce, right? Excavating, right? Is that it? Excavating the port? Wow. Cranes, luxury, high rises. Four Seasons broke ground in Zanzibar, right? The fourth 5-star luxury international brand to break ground in Zanzibar. Agriculture, as I mentioned, American, young, under the age of, I think he just turned 30 or 32 or something like that, under the age of 40, 300 plus acres of avocado farming, right? So many things are happening, and things are happening at a faster pace than they happened 10 years ago. Tanzania is rapidly growing. And for some reason, they want you guys to focus on what's bad, what's happening, the worst case scenario, the fear of venturing into the unknown, because the impact that you can make with your 5,000, with your 10,000, with your 20,000, with your 200,000 on your life and the life of your family is infinite. So the first thing, and I hope everyone is taking notes, the first thing I would do if I were you to invest in Africa is invest in information, right? So you guys are already here. You're already in the community. You are already invested in learning more, right? I'm sure I'm not the only creator and that's sharing their journey in Africa that you can relate to. I'm sure I'm not, right? So you are already tuned in, tapped in, turned on to the information of, of what's happening on the continent. I'm looking for this video, guys. I cannot find it. That's number one. So you are already doing that. But there's more, because there's a lot of information that I personally can't share online, because I'm not an investor. I can't predict what's happening. I can only tell you what I see from on the ground. But in my community that I had earlier today, coaching, Africa Investors Academy, all access, that I've just opened up 3 days ago, we talk about this. I share constant information, reports on development, reports on economic growth, reports on businesses that are coming to the continent, reports that governments are putting, as well as media articles, right? Because the media that you see in the US, I know I used to be a CNN fiend. Wake up to CNN, go to sleep to CNN. There is so much more news about the world that's happening that is not on CNN, that is not in the Wall Street Journal, that is not in People magazine, right? That is talking about the growth, the abundance of opportunities that are available here in Africa, right? So there's so much happening, and those are the resources that I share in the Africa Investors Academy. So invest, right? Invest in that information first, right? Start doing your research. So, and, spend your time, and you're here with me today, and I appreciate you. And so there's nothing else that I could ask of you, because you're here, and I appreciate that. But I will say, you want access to more information, that means investing in it, right? That is going to be the biggest advantage of life, because I'd say I didn't necessarily just invest 100,000, 200,000. I took the time to invest in the research, which also meant being here on the ground, right? To do and to figure out and to make mistakes and to fail. And that all cost me money. So I had to do that, right? In order to really get clear, get confident on the industries that I wanted to invest in. Was that helpful? Let me know if you're finding value in it. I want to make sure that I come up and bring our guest, Justa. Make sure, because she's really a part of everything that we're doing here in Zanzibar. I want to make sure that you come and join us. Let me put that ticker there. And thank you for the super chats, guys. I see them. I appreciate you. Sean, thank you for that super sticker. Support the stream, guys, if you find value in it. And I want to shout out everybody that supported Zanaya. She is in Tanzania doing her international schooling. They're actually on a break right now. I'm so proud of her, and I'm thankful for everyone. We got her fabrics, we got her hair products. We even got her a few books, a few novels. She's really into African fiction, right? Which is super dope. I'm so proud of her. Thank you so much to everyone that supported her, donated to her. She's super grateful, and I'm so happy that you guys were able to and felt moved, right, to share. So the next thing I would do, invest in people that are experts in what they know, that are here on the continent, that are moving consistently back and forth to the continent, that are doing things, that are taking action, that are investing. Those relationships are priceless. And Juica is going to join us in a second. She is somebody that I value immensely. She knows, she works with me on our first investor summit, executed with excellence, and continues to be a superstar in the tourism industry. And that relationship that we're building, that we've been invested in, has paid tenfold just in the information, the access, the comfort, the affirmation, back and forth, investing in relationships with people, right? Investing in the people. If you resonate and there are people that you connect with that are doing things that you want to do, figure out how to get in rooms with them. Figure out how to invest in the things that they're sharing with you. Figure out how to, share that information, right? Because proximity does give you that access to the information that you probably wouldn't get otherwise, right? So, Justa, if you're ready to join, turn on your camera and I'll pop you in. In the meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and look at some of these. There she is. There she is. I'm going to bring her on and welcome her to the stage. I'll show her some love. Karibu.
Asante. Hi.
Hi. Zawadi residents.
I know, we miss you here.
I miss you so much. Jusa, I'm so infinitely grateful for you. And I know you were listening kind of backstage when we're talking about the future of investing being in Africa, but also like I'm recommending, to people what I would do, right? And starting over, and starting really from ground zero. And relationships is so key. And my relationship with you, I value so deeply, and everything that we've been able to build professionally, that we're still building professionally, but also personally. So please, I'm going to leave the floor to you. For people that don't know, they need to get to know you. Tell us all about you, who you are, why people should care, and compound on that, some of the things that you think people really need to know and not miss the opportunity on when it comes to investing in the continent.
Oh, wow. First
I know
of
that
all,
was a lot.
it was long. First of all, you got the memo to wear black.
Yay.
I am super excited to be here, Ashley. You've been an inspiration of mine. Just like I'm Tanzanian myself, but I also live partially in the US. But from the information that you're providing, is like, as a Tanzanian and as an American, I'm like, I did not know that. Like, oh my God, you are so valuable. Like, we need you on this side to kind of like be that in between person to share all this amazing information. So I just want to say thank you for that opportunity, and just to be able to open us up. And I was so thankful when you was here for a month and a half in Tanzania, and this time that we spent together. And all my friends were like, oh my God. Like, I was speaking to one of our friends, was Remy. Remy was like, oh my God, Ashley told me ABCD. I have to follow up. So like, you were one of those people who's like always encouraging everyone. So very thankful for that. But oh my God, where do I start? with Tanzania, I never knew that Tanzania was such a beautiful gem, or like I should also speak just in general, like Africa was such a beautiful place. And this is the time for us to be able to come onto the continent, and to be able to invest in any way possible. And luckily, I was able, for me as a Tanzanian, I lived in the US for probably, I think almost like, I went there when I was 12. So like I've been there for like such a long time. But when I came back home in Tanzania, I saw it with different eyes. And so I got to appreciate this beautiful country. But then I was like, now what's next? What do I do? And so that's where I was able to find myself within the tourism industry, and doing more research. Come to find out, of course, when I was in the US, I was a clinical dietitian, so I was always focused on nutrition and being able to care for people. And I never knew what was the thing that was happening here in Tanzania, but doing, of course, a little bit of research, tourism is the number 2 sector in Tanzania. So it's agriculture and then it's tourism. And I did not see the opportunities. I never saw the opportunities until my uncle was able to take us on a safari. And so when I saw the other side of what Tanzania is all about, what majority of the tourists come to Tanzania for, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. But then, of course, we also have our culture, where I used to visit my village, and of course, like I speak almost like 5 different languages and all of that, but I never knew it was such a valuable thing until when I stepped outside, meaning when I went to the US, then when I came back to Tanzania, I was like, I was valuable. And I was like, okay, so how do I use all of this information? How do I share this information with people? So in the mix of learning more about tourism and pushing myself, I used to work my 9 to 5 as a clinical dietitian, but then I think I only had like 2 weeks of vacation. Find some time, and then I will make it. I will come to Tanzania, spend us 2 weeks doing research, like deep research in tourism, trying to understand what the business is all about and where's the gap missing, and how do I see myself fulfilling that gap. So anytime we point one finger at somebody, there's 4 fingers that point at us. That's, my mom used to say that all the time. It's like anytime you are like, oh, this person is not doing this or that person is not doing that, there's also 4 fingers that are pointing back at you. So we have to do self-evaluation, and which I did kind of like a self-evaluation within, and then I understood where I belonged within the tourism industry. So within the tourism industry, I started a company called Curious on Tanzania. And basically Curious on Tanzania is basically an experiential travel company that focuses, like, I don't come in saying that I'm a super expert and I know the whole of Tanzania, but I'm willing, myself with my team, we are willing to do the research and to kind of like dig deep to get to understand the country better, so we're able to share it with the world. But like I started from almost like from nothing, not understanding anything, and then of course after years and years, next year is going to be our 10th year anniversary. But like it was a lot of digging and learning or relearning, and building relationships, one relationship at a time. There's one relationship that I have, which was with my uncle who taught me the business. He died like 5 years ago, but like that relationship with the people that he connected me with is still there. And then next year is going to be 10 years. But that relationship is very valuable to me, and I don't want to, like, I would not want to lose that relationship because it ties everything in. So as we know, like, let me say, for example, the tourism sector is almost like there's so many different touch points. So I will compare it to like running a race. And the somebody, the runner has a baton, and the baton will be the client. And we, the operators, are the ones who are running to make sure the client gets over on the other side of the race. So when you're passing around that particular baton, and that will be the client, there's different touch points. So you have to know where are you best at within those touch points. And that's where the opportunity lies. And that's when I was looking at the client themselves, moving around from different places, I realized there was a gap that was missing, which is just being able to provide information from people who are traveling, especially like from the US, people who were traveling from the US getting to Tanzania. There was a middle ground there where not a lot of people knew about Tanzania and knew how to start off their journeys. So I was able to become that, connecting that. So within that, it's been over almost like 10 years. We have hosted a lot of people who came into Tanzania. And of course, last year we were able to host the first summit, which the summit was amazing. And I hope a lot of people was able to get a lot of value. It was challenging, but like it was one of those things that we, it was one, it was very informative to me as a person also, but also to be able to add that, the value, and to be able to help people get through the journey in Tanzania, in Zanzibar especially. It was just like an amazing opportunity. I like talking is not my thing, but like
it so is. You did amazing. You do so great. You, first off, you are an expert. Like, you know, I mean, the way that that Justa can introduce people to multiple sides of Tanzania is seamless and effortless, with poise, excellence, and a profound respect to the country and to the heritage that exists in Tanzania. And so, like she said, she speaks 5 languages. It's connected to like her original language. Community is something that she does, and she does it because she is passionate about her country and the preservation, the sovereignty, but also like the exposure of Tanzania. And the event was seamless, and she continues to add so much value and like support people on the journey. So everybody that knows, and there's tons of reviews on the website at africainvestorsacademy.com. The link is scrolling below. We've got like 3 spots left. So we need you guys to book. The final payments are due the 30th of September, so that Justa can do what she does to make sure that we have an incredible experience. But you know, relationships are so important, and building, fostering, appreciating. You know, I saw someone said, you know, I am one of the people that shares only positive information. And I don't agree. I know tons of other people that share positive information about the continent. And, you know, are there challenges? Absolutely. But like, there's enough bad information and bad challenges everywhere. Like, that doesn't change because you move to a different continent or a different country. But your mindset and how you choose to approach challenges as opportunities, or how you choose to approach bad experience as opportunities for learning, like that's really all in your mind and how you're able to do it. And so there's not just, I think once you start to look at the opportunity and continue to look at opportunity and surround yourself with people that are in that same energy and vibration, you know, you'll thrive. And I'll say, even, you know, I got an opportunity to join several of Justa's trips, and like just kind of popping in, and the people that she brings overwhelmingly are having amazing experiences. They're traveling to multiple African countries. They're traveling to multiple countries, and they're coming back, right? They're not just traveling with her once or twice, right? So I'll encourage you all, follow her on Curious on Tanzania. To, you know, follow her on Instagram, get on her email list, come with us to Zanzibar in October, and then hit her back up so that you can go to, you know, the Serengeti, so that you can go to, you know, I mean, Ngorongoro, you can go to Kilimanjaro, you can go to Dar, you can go back to Zanzibar.
I'm like, oh, my village.
The village, like wherever. book her, like work with her.
Right.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. So,
It's
you know,
not. It's not like it's not only that. It's also like what I've noticed. A lot of people when they travel to, I mean, when you travel anywhere, it just kind of like opens you up, and it also, what I've heard a lot of people when they come to Tanzania, they're like, "Oh my God, I did not know." And this brought so much light to me when like, and then when they go back and they go back to either their 9 to 5, it's like they see what their work worth like completely different, and some of them even have like start planning like exit plans, and some of them are like, listen, I'm working this, let me save this, and I'm gonna go work on this other thing, or let me travel again and see, and maybe that feeling was not the feeling I was supposed to feel. Maybe it's something. So like, there's always there's a change that happens. And I've had that a lot from a lot of people where it's just that one visit gives them so much that they feel like that information needs to, they need to turn it into something. Whatever that thing is, it's like, they just become, even for me, like my official first trip back to Tanzania was the one that kind of made me realize that, oh my God, I need to find myself back home. But then how do I do that? So then I kept on going back to work. I was a clinical dietitian, 9 to 5, working. And 10 years later, I'm like completely solid here in Tanzania. But then for me, it took long. But then I had to find myself, okay, what are those steps? Although I was coming back home, but it was
yep.
still, okay, what are they? I had to take steps that were comfortable to me. Because of the comfort of living in the US and getting a paycheck, where I went from getting like my job was paying me, I think on a weekly basis. They would just throw some, I call it, they will throw pennies at you to just keep you still. And then being an entrepreneur where there's high seasons and low seasons, I have to manage my own money now. It's like whatever I get, I have to make sure I stretch it all the way throughout the year, or maybe even 2 years. I might have a year where it's like a loss. Please, Lord, don't give me that year. But then when I was working my 9 to 5, it's like they'll always drop something to keep me just like at peace for a minute. But now it's like I understand how to manage everything. That's just my personal life, but then like with just like having curious on Tanzania, it has changed me so much as a person. But like I then I also get to understand a lot of people's journeys, and when we are curating your trip, that also reflects. And it's when it reflects into, and that's what we call it curious on Tanzania. It's because of just that we bring in your curiosity, and that's how I'm able to work with you, Ashley, also. It's not like I don't want it to be just like a tourist company, but it's an opportunity where you bring your curiosity, and we just kind of like open it up to Naifafanua. We say the Fafanua is like we open it up. And so you're able to dig in and see what is in there. And that's what the summit is all about. It's like you are coming to visit, but then when you visit, it's like you are given all these gems inside, where it's like take what you can and leave what you want to leave at the time. Maybe you might come back to it again, but just
Yep.
keep on giving it to you, keep on depositing it to you. And it's just like, definitely whoever is able to come to the summit, we will all be there, and we'll all be able to guide you through, so you are able to get this walkthrough. And it's opportunity, as a lot of people say, of a lifetime, but like an opportunity where it will guide you to help you get to understand. It's actually a faster way of understanding compared to me. I spent almost like 10 years getting all this information together, but this is an accelerated way to be able to understand more about Zanzibar, and the opportunities are available in Zanzibar, but also the opportunities are available in like Tanzania at a large, by coming to this particular summit. So highly encourage anybody who's interested to be able to join us for the summit in this October.
Yes. And you said it right there. Like my next thing was experiences, right? So that's how you invest. I do not take people's money to invest, right? People have asked me, hey, I've got this. How do I invest in the information? Invest in the relationships of people that are doing the thing that inspires you or that you feel like is helpful, and then invest in the experience, right? So come, get here. And Justa, you shared, it took you time to make that transition. You were born in Tanzania. And then there was a lot of sacrifice required for you and your family to go to the US. But now you were continuing to go back and forth. But it was the experience of knowing that there were these different options that you said, okay, I'm going to invest in the relationship with my uncle that's teaching me the business. I'm going to invest in the information that he's sharing with me. And now I'm going to invest in the experience of seeing what it could look like. So determination, decision, of course, but then experiencing it for yourself. So I want to try to see if I can play our video. Today, it's just not loving me. But if you guys are on this, on the community, in the community, you've seen our promo video for the Investor Summit and Mastermind in Zanzibar. We're going to take questions in a few. If you have a question, please be sure to leave the word question before your question so that I can easily pick it out. Yes, so many gems. You've dropped so many gems, Justa, as always. So you are a speaker. You are an amazing speaker. Your light is so brilliant. And the work that you're doing to bring people and create like this really fun community experience, opportunity for expansion is just wild. It's amazing. So thank you for working with me on this, right? And everybody knows, go to the website. You can see the testimonials. You can see what people's experience have been like. Go to Justa's Instagram, Curious on Tanzania. You can see that, you know, she is not new to this, okay? She is true to this. All right, so Midori asked about shots. I think, oh, well, fear-mongering tactic, you know, it depends. Are you afraid of that? Like, that's up to you. But someone did answer, no, you are not required to take any shots coming from the US. Sean, is it an in-person meetup in Africa? Yes, it is an in-person investors summit and mastermind where I'm going to be sharing my personal investment strategies. I'll be sharing some of the resources that I'm invested in, as well as different people that are going to teach more about that. You'll learn everything from agriculture to real estate to more conservative investments like bonds and trusts, as well as people that are doing it in other areas of the continent, right? So we'll have some folks that are coming from South Africa to join, and it is in person. So it's 7 days of just a beautiful experience in Zanzibar. We'll be having some meetings. We'll be connecting with other Tanzanian professionals, investors, business folks, and other people from all over the world that are like-minded, that have an interest in investing in the continent of Africa. Right. So Midori asks, as an architectural designer, do you believe there's an opportunity for me to transition remotely with work before moving entirely there? Jusa, you want to answer?
Yes, I would say yes. But definitely this, like, for me, I'm just saying yes because I have property and I need somebody to be able to design it for me. But yes, Zanzibar is growing at a extremely high rate. I think there is an opportunity, yes, but then you also have to see, is it worth it? Compared to where you are and you're coming onto the continent, will it be worth it for you? So like it's good to come in and explore and see if it's doable for you.
Okay. Yeah. And I think, Midori, if your question around, you said opportunity for you to transition remotely with work before, if you have something, absolutely. But also, are you creating something so that you can work remotely? right? Are you building something and creating and serving others through the skills you've already acquired? It's absolutely what I recommend versus looking for remote jobs, which are actively available, right? But I always say if you're going to build a business, invest in yourself to create something that allows you to build that business to earn more income so that you have the time to then see and explore and learn and, unlearn and do all of that work, right? Uroy asks, is there a demand for college in the country? This is an interesting question. What do you think?
That is, yes, it's very interesting. In Zanzibar, I think, I mean, education is something that's needed everywhere. So depending what type of college, I think yes. Because like a lot of, I mean, a good college or a good university, because a lot of citizens here, we actually take our kids outside of Tanzania to go study, and they are willing to pay the international rate. So if it's like compared to what we have, if it's something that's at the same levels at the US or the other ones, I think it's something that is in demand. I could say that. So maybe you
Awesome.
could answer this as a parent, because I'm like, I left college 20 years ago.
So I personally, yes, I went to university. I have, a few degrees, and what I see happening here on the continent is not traditional education taught in university systems has become obsolete. And its gatekeeping nature is no longer competitive. And the same things that you can learn and learn faster and learn from people that are relatable, that are actually doing it, is for free online. So I'm an advocate for lifelong education, right? So I don't necessarily have disbelief in university. I went to school, but as I asked the question about 10 years ago, what we needed to learn 10 years ago is not even, it's a lot of it isn't valid. University education doesn't teach us really how to be successful in business, doesn't how to teach us how to be successful international businessmen. I think even my friends here in South Africa that study international business, like their coursework is totally surpasses international business courses that I've seen in the US. So I think that if you are a teacher, right, and you have a skill set to teach, now that's a different story, right? Because it does take a specific type of skill to teach. And I think if you can find educational systems and curriculum that is beneficial to the youth, because what Africa does not have a shortage of is educated youth. Now, are they getting jobs is the question. And no, because there aren't as many jobs, right? So we need to be educating the youth of Africa to be entrepreneurs, to be tradesmen, to be farmers, to be, all of these things, like doing the things of service that are not going to be replaced by AI. So thank you for passing that question to me, because I feel very passionate, about education and the way that it's presented in traditional school settings. I do think that there's a part of education that's necessary in traditional settings, but I think it's less important than the education that's needed for our people to be empowered through entrepreneurship and ultimately creation, right, in service of others. So I want to address, there's someone in the comments talking about Zanzibar and his experience, kind of discounting and dismissing the opportunities. And while this is your experience for sure, I think he says something about, these hotels and people selling their hotels. I don't look at this as an issue. I look at this as an opportunity because the trends that I've seen
Right.
and the influx of tourism that I've seen over the last few years, it's not going down, it's going up. So if people want out, and the people that you're mentioning, they need to be out, be out, because these are developing countries, and I think what these countries had access to 10 years ago, they no longer have access to, whether it's the exclusivity of Zanzibar or the ability to just use their money to influence and, you know, do things that they wanted to do. Those things are going away. So we're entering into a totally different revolution of business that gives access to opportunity, right? So I don't discount, you know, your experience. I don't know how to pronounce your name. And thank you for sharing it, but it doesn't deter me. I don't know if it deters other people, but I look at this as an opportunity. So what do you say about this kind of energy, these type of comments where people are like, yeah, I've seen this and this isn't, you know, what is that? How does that make you feel even as a Tanzanian?
I mean, we all have different sets of eyes. Like you mentioned, there's some people who will see a cup half full, and some people will see a cup half empty. And for those who also see, yes, there's this kind of the situation that's maybe it could be the current situation, but the future could be completely different. And if you're looking at it as an investor, we should always think of that, not the current moment. I mean, the current moment, yes, is important, but then also look beyond. And there's a lot of businesses that are coming in and also investing that you have to look beyond. And yeah, for me, I just think of it like you just have to see the future. If you could see it and you could see that you'll be able to thrive in it, then you go for it. But if you see that the negative weigh out more than the positives, then you could go back,
Yeah.
basically.
And, you know, the thing is that every place isn't for you, right? Like this is not for you. So I appreciate you. While I appreciate you sharing your experience, I also think that this just isn't for you, right? So Zanzibar just isn't a place for you. There are hundreds of investors coming into Zanzibar every day. There are thousands of tourists coming into Zanzibar every day. And this summit is not only about investment opportunities in Zanzibar, right? We're going to be talking about mainland Tanzania, and we're going to be talking about other areas in Africa.
The other thing we should also realize that this is people's homes. They are entitled to do whatever they choose to do. We are like when you are visiting, you will see everything because your eyes are open to seeing everything that happens. But then once you get over kind of like that touristy phase, then you could dig deep. You get to understand people. Why is that person over there begging, or why is this person this? They have their intentions. Maybe that's how they like to make money. Like you can't you can't blame them for that. That's their hustle. But then once you, and especially like here, when you learn Swahili, you could be able to say hapana. Hapana means no. You could say asante, and they will just mind their business because this is something that they do on a regular basis. But you have to know the culture. You have to know how people are. And maybe one day that particular person that's begging you, something might happen to you where you need his help, and he might run up to you and be like, oh, let me help you, because the police is not going to be there to support you as soon as you need something, because like our policing is just, we are very casual. So that's why like here, once you get to know the culture, once you get to know us, it's like everybody is somebody, and everybody has their role that they play when it's needed. And that's when you are in trouble, that's when you completely will be able to realize that, oh my God, that particular person, for me, I would say hi to everyone because I don't know what's going to happen to me, who's going to be there to help me. Because like we might not have all the perfect services, but people, we are more with the people. Yes, with the respect, we are more people are people. People are willing to help when the time comes to be able to help them. I don't know if that. I'm hoping that like I communicated that better to where he was coming from, but that's how things look like here in Tanzania.
Absolutely. I mean, the culture matters and how we interpret and understand and, like just have empathy, right? That's one of the things that you're not going to learn uh, without creating relationships, without investing in relationships. Because when you invest in relationships with other people that can help you navigate or even just help you unlearn things or just share their story, you will start to build empathy for people and understand this is why we're doing what we're doing because of X, Y, and Z. So, you said it exactly right. This is about having empathy and understanding for the culture and being able to communicate and value and honor people's language. So, yes, when you come on the tour with us, you will have several dedicated tour guides that speak fluent English. So you won't need to know the language through and through conversationally, but it is very important to just show and level of interest of learning a few phrases that will help you have a better experience. Africans, it doesn't matter where you are on the continent, when you have enough respect to greet them or even attempt to greet them in their language, they will see and
Yeah.
have open up to you. Just because you tried, you could say it completely wrong, but your intention and your offering of that gift is what will just take you so far. And like Justa said, to say, oh, I couldn't swim anywhere, it's like, oh, shame, because the water is beautiful. I had beautiful experiences. And yes, people offered to sell me things, but I politely said, no, thank you. Hapana, asante, hapana, with a smile. And they went about their way, and that just one small gesture can turn your experience around. So yes, I appreciate you sharing that. Juice, is there anything I really want to try? Let's try this. I want to try to share. Let's try to share. And then let me know if you can hear it. I can hear it.
It's not showing there.
Awesome.
Actually, put it on the bigger screen because it did not show. It just showed the edited version.
Oh, it didn't show. Well, I tried. I tried. But you guys have seen this. Let me stop sharing. Wonderful. Will you continue this live chat about opportunities in other African countries? So, Adrienne, this is what we do in the Africa Investors Academy. So I talk twice a month with our community members, our investors, about different opportunities. We coach through their businesses, their business models, their challenges, their migration plans. Actually, daily, they get updates on performance index funds, economic developments of the continent, of certain countries, media updates on what's happening with foreign militaries, what's happening with economic trends, what's happening with employment, education. So we do this in the Africa Investors Academy. You can go to the link below. The tab will say the Academy. We've just opened up enrollment. So you want to get in there. That's where we really talk live on a regular about other African countries. Right now, I focus on Tanzania, South Africa, Ghana, Kenya, and then soon we're going to onboard for Mauritius. So if you have an interest, join us in the Africa Investors Academy to learn more. But we're going to wrap up. We're going to wrap up this question. Let's answer this because you did ask us a few times. So sorry to I didn't avoid it, but I need to bring it back up. So AI opportunities. I mean, one of the things that I'll just say very quickly, AI is remote, right? So you can take your expertise of AI anywhere in the world. Everybody is learning about AI. And AI is so rapidly updating that there is always an opportunity to learn and to teach that, right? So yes, there are AI opportunities available everywhere. You have to be willing to create that for yourself. So what does that look like? What does a curriculum look like that you're going to teach to people in the hospitality industry? You're going to teach people in the journalism space. You're going to teach people in the government space. You're going to teach people in the real estate construction space, right? Who is your target audience? How do you serve them? How often do you serve them? And what are you going to charge, right? I know I made it sound really simple, but it really is. So yes, there is opportunity, and Roz is there. She is a member of the Africa Investors Academy. And we were just talking today, right? And she says it's a cool community. So Karibu, you are welcome. Join us there. That's where we talk more about those opportunities, and we focus on helping people build their businesses as well as supporting their migration plans or their travel plans to the continent. So Justa, I appreciate you so much.
Asante.
Thank you for giving us your Sunday evening. You know, these lives are very intentional, guys, because the weekends in every African country, we are chilling.
Yes.
So the fact that we come in and share this information is because we really want to share, right? We really want to share this information. We want to share these opportunities. We want the days to be gone where they're like, oh, nobody told us this, you know? So that is our offering to you. If you found value in the stream, share it, like the stream, invest in the community, invest in the stream, so that other people can hear this message as well, because there has never been a better time than to get started now. And so we've created an opportunity for you to join us at the Investor Summit and Mastermind, but also even after that, right? You can have an opportunity to connect with Justa and Curious on Tanzania to expand your experience of Tanzania as well. So Justus, do you have any last words for the community before we say goodbye for now?
No, thank you so much for this opportunity, and I can't wait to see most of you guys, if not all, in Zanzibar. We are waiting for you guys next month. So yeah, I'm super excited for that opportunity. So yes, and good luck to everyone.
Wonderful. Oh, fantastic. Oh, this is my friend that I met today at Zara at the waterfront in Cape Town. Saying hi, Zuko. So sweet, so kind. Oh, I appreciate you, Justa. Yes, we'll talk soon. For everyone that has booked with us already, be on the lookout for your calendar invite. We'll be doing some private Q&As where you'll get to ask your questions. We'll be preparing you for things like, you know, Swahili phrases, cultural immersion, how to dress, how to come best prepared. You'll be getting office hours with our strategic and our strategic advisors, the Nova Law Group. You'll get to meet other investors that have already invested on the continent through our community. It's going to be a great time, and we're going to have some amazing dinners, some great food. We're going to get out on the yachts. We're going to do it up and really create impact, because that's what we're here to do. So it's not only just about investing, but figuring out how we can come together in real time, in person, to not only create community, but to build bridges and to create impact, right? So we want to see you there. If you enjoyed this stream, like it, share it, and invite somebody to the summit. They are going to enjoy it, and we would love to see you there. So until the next video, guys, I'll see you soon.
Thanks. See ya.